Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to episode 10 of the Plus 3 podcast.
Episode 10. We finally did it.
We finally did it.
10th episode.
If each
And the sad
episode
thing
was a
is-
year, this would be a decade.
And the sad thing is, Tina isn't even here to celebrate the 10th episode. She's out on assignment.
Yep. She's visiting family.
She is.
Fortunately, she cannot be here with us today. So we're going to have her here in spirit and we're going to take over her workload.
She's just going to listen to this and be like, you guys are amazing.
Yeah, that's exactly what she's going to say. It's just going to be, I'm so proud of you guys.
I love you both.
She's probably going to cry a little bit.
Oh, most definitely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because it's a really emotional moment to go through the 10th episode of a podcast together.
Just listening to our voices, she's probably just going to cry.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I listen to this podcast every day. I listen to each episode every day.
It's my alarm clock.
Okay. Yeah, so we got a couple things to get into today. John, what
Yes.
has been going on?
I played a lot of games this week.
Wow,
A
really?
lot. Seeing as Christina's gone, I have just been playing games all by myself. It's a sad time.
Man, this is such a sad 10th episode.
But I played a new game called Rad, and it's super rad. Actually, like, it's getting mixed reviews. A lot of people, you love it or you hate it. But it was released on August 20th of this year and developed by Double Fine.
Mhm.
And it reminds me a lot of Binding of Isaac. It's like a roguelike type game. But you control different types of players, and you explore like a procedurally generated level. And you basically like you have to. The whole point of the game is like you're this kid, and you go around this like basically. So think about this: an apocalypse happens, everyone dies. Well, a certain amount of people die. And then a second apocalypse happens on top of that.
Okay.
And then, so then basically two apocalypse happens. And then you, as a kid, have to find this item to restore human civilization. So you go through this, you go through a procedurally generated level, and you're just killing all these enemies. You level up a little bit. And every time you level up, you receive a new ability. So when I was playing it for the first time, when I leveled up, I unlocked these spikes that went around my waist. And then whenever I hit like the shift, all those spikes would just like pop out, and you can like hit all the enemies around you. And then basically that ability will just like slowly recover, and then you can use it after like 3 seconds or whatever. So yeah, and then you have like this baseball bat that they give you. That's your main weapon. I don't think you get anything else. From what I've played, it's always the baseball bat. And yeah, you go through this world, and you have to open up a door to enter. Like, it's like this type of cave, and in that cave is the boss. So you have to go through this world and then find these statues, activate them, and then once you activate all these statues, that door will open up. And then you go in there, you fight the boss, you unlock or you collect like VHS tapes or like cassette tapes, which is money. That's the currency, is the money, or VHS tapes. And then also floppy disks are in there, which I think that's like a special type of currency, which you can unlock like chests or whatnot. And they're really hard to find. I think you can like do like small like side missions where you'll like find these people, and they'll be like, yeah, like do a 720 and I'll give you all my floppy disks. So you have to like do a 720, which is extremely hard on keyboard and mouse. And then you basically collect those, go through the level. If you beat the boss, you basically get more items, and you continue on. Game's really, really short, but it's a lot like it's kind of like Binding of Isaac, where it's just super replayability. Like the replayability is really, really good there. And then if you die, it's permadeath. So you basically lose all your abilities that you've unlocked, and you start over.
Well, that's okay. It should be short then if it's a roguelike game.
Yeah. And the cool thing though is the more that you play, and when you die, you actually end up you level up at the end of the game, or after you die, and you unlock certain items or characters that you can play as for the next time you start the new game. So like when I died, I unlocked like a bunch of new weapons, new characters that I can play as, and I'm pretty sure the characters that you play as don't have like special abilities or anything. I think all of them just play the same. I'm pretty sure.
So you just you get a different skin basically.
Yeah, I think so. What else can I say about that game? The graphics are pretty nice. For the 2 apocalypse that happened in the game, the world looks really, really nice.
Is it pixel graphics?
No, it's not pixel graphics.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm actually shocked that I haven't played any games this week that had pixel graphics in it.
Wow. Oh, how are the ragdolls?
No ragdolls either.
Oh.
I know.
How are the microtransactions?
There's none.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Sounds really disappointing.
None, which is good. But yeah, the soundtrack is good. It's more like synthwave. And then the characters, you have like it's from Double Fine, so that they have like the funny like the characters that are just really weird, and they'll just say random shit. The one thing that I noticed is like every time you start the game, there's a guy who just like repeat, like if you click on options, he'll be like options, and like everything you click, he'll just fucking repeat it, and it's just like fuck off.
That's awesome.
But yeah, overall the game's really fun. I had a lot of fun with it. They could definitely do a lot more with it, like with free updates and stuff if they decide to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game is, you should check it out. Well, I don't know if you really care for roguelike games.
I do. I do, because almost every platformer is roguelike.
Yeah.
Almost all of them. You die, you lose everything. Well, the levels are roguelike, like especially games like Mega Man.
Yeah. I like how you can, when you die, the whole world just completely changes the next time you play. Like you'll never really play the same level over and over again. It's just like, okay, you died, the next level is completely different with different enemies, which is pretty cool. And you'll find merchants around the world too, so you can like go up to them. They'll have like health bottles that you can like collect and use them like during battles, and then you can unlock like certain items that will last for a certain amount of time. So they'll like put a shield over you for a couple of seconds or whatever. There's also an ability where the more that you jump, the more you'll heal. So like you'll just be like jumping around, you can like slowly heal. But if you like go onto like a hill and jump off that, you'll heal faster. It's really, really weird.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it just
doesn't make sense. I'm lying.
Every time you play, it's different, which is pretty cool. And it reminds me so much and I love Binding of Isaac, so
yeah, that's true.
I'll definitely keep playing it and keep an eye on like updates and stuff. But I don't know, a lot of people are complaining that it's too short, or
I don't think too short is even a bad thing in today's world, because there are plenty of, it's actually hard to find a short game. Why does every game have to be long?
In open world and all that bullshit.
And why does it need to have microtransactions? And why does it have to have DLC? And why do you have to have an RPG system built into it with customization? And blah 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 blah.
You should check this game out though. It's really nice. The graphics are really nice.
Sounds like a game I would play.
Yeah,
it does sound like a game I would play.
You can like get like projectiles and all the abilities. Mm-hmm. And like the thing is, like I've played for a couple hours, and like I know for a fact I haven't unlocked everything, and I haven't seen all the abilities that you get. Yeah, you should try it out, Evan. You might like it, and you could just,
if I don't like it, I can just refund it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm running into a problem with my refunds though. A little update on that, because again, I'm going through my bank transfer, like my ledger here, and I buy this stuff on credit card through Steam. And so I don't know if anyone else is with TD Canada Trust, but on mine, when you make a purchase, it'll show up, like it usually doesn't process right away, so it'll show up in the pending list and then to be processed soon or whatever kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I was told that the reason why transactions stay in your pending list on your credit card is because all of those actually have to be kind of confirmed by the company that you're paying. So, like for example, I make a purchase on Steam with my Visa, and it goes into my pending transactions list on TD. Because on TD's side, on my bank side, they took care of it. It's like I sent the money out, it's good. But it's pending because TD is waiting for Steam to accept it. It's like a money transfer basically.
Yeah. Well, that's what a credit card does.
Yeah. Yeah. But I never really thought of it that way. I just kind of.
So basically, what you're doing now is you're refunding the game. They're taking the game, and then they're just never giving you your money back. They're like, "Fuck you, Evan."
I don't know actually. No, I think I'm refunding so quickly. Like, I did a couple of them that were like within the same hour kind of thing.
Yeah.
I have two. Yeah, I have two that I'm still waiting on to get money back for, but they're still in my pending list. I don't remember. One of them might have been. One of them might have been Ion Fury. Yeah.
Oh, really? You funded that game?
I tried it and refunded it just because the level design, I find it's awesome. Like they put a lot of effort into the worlds, but I find the worlds a little too complex. And I'm wandering around. I was getting lost. And I was like, I don't know. I can't get into this.
Yeah, no, that's usually what happens with like the older games. And like when I was playing, I somewhat got lost, but they somewhat help you with like leaving like trails of like armor pieces and stuff. So like you collect those, but yeah, I know what you mean there.
It sucks. The game looks fantastic and plays fantastic.
Yeah.
Aside from some like lag issues I was having input lag. I don't know really why.
Were you playing with a controller?
No, mouse and keyboard, and there was some lag. I think it was because my processor is a little weaker.
Yeah, I don't think. Oh, that's weird.
Anyway, so Ion Fury is one of them. The other one is some 1149 title. So I think it was one of the pixel platformers. I don't remember.
But if it's still in your pending list, it's probably just going to disappear and not put on your... Yeah.
So Steam is probably going to say, oh, he bought it, refunded it. Let's just cancel it or whatever. I've never seen one get canceled, so I don't know if that can happen.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know if it'll just disappear off my pending. What I'm expecting is to see the pending charge go to accepted and then a credit right after.
Yeah.
But anyway, for anybody who's doing mass refunds like I am immediately, just be wary of that. You're probably going to have some transactions sitting in your pending list for a while, depending on how quickly you do it.
Oh, I like that, Evan. You're finally getting they're refunding you, man.
They're finally, they're giving me what I deserve.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about too, before I get to my next game, is the news. There's a lot of news this week. Crazy amount of news. I want to start off with, Evan, have you played the new Mortal Kombat MK11?
No.
Oh man, that game is sick.
Thought about it,
but they announced like a fighting a combat pack. So basically, every time they come out with a Mortal Kombat game, they basically do a huge trailer and they show off all the characters that you can get for DLC. And I think they're going to do more than 2 this year. Well, not this year, but throughout like 2-3 years. But this year, they announced new characters that you can grab, and 2 of them are already available. There's Shang Tsung, who's actually played as like the guy who did the Mortal Kombat movie. So he's in it. Nice. So you can get him right away. And then they just released Nightwolf. So I watched a bit of like his brutalities and fatalities, and those are crazy. But then they announced 4 new characters finally, and it's pretty cool. So in October, you can get the Terminator T-800. He's finally going to be in it. Okay. He's not voiced. They're not using Arnold for the voice acting or whatever, but I think that's gonna be fucking cool to have the Terminator and just see his fatalities. Like I'm pretty sure they're gonna use something like him saying like hasta la vista baby.
Yeah.
Just, like blow their heads off or whatever. So I think that's pretty cool. And then November 26th, they're bringing Sindel, which I don't know. I feel like Sindel, I'm not a huge fan of Sindel in the Mortal Kombat series.
Mm.
I feel like maybe they could have brought someone else, but yeah, she's coming back, so that's
Why
pretty cool.
aren't these characters in the game from the first place? I'm kind of surprised because those are the classic characters.
I don't know.
Maybe they did this on purpose.
They probably just wanted to use it for DLC.
Maybe, yeah. I'm sure they thought about having them there.
Yeah. Especially like Sindel though. I don't know. It's so weird.
Is she the one that like floats and screams?
Yeah, that's her. And then January 28th, they have Joker from the DC Comics. He's coming in.
Okay.
And March 17th, they are releasing Spawn.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't heard from him in a while.
Dude, I'm so excited to see how he plays in the Mortal Kombat game.
Spawn is DC as well, right?
No, he's not DC. He's like it's like a different comic series. I don't know what it's called. Yeah. But there were rumors that Ash from Evil Dead would be a character in Mortal Kombat, and there's been leaks about it, and I think he's going to finally come with the second Combat Pact. So like whenever they release new characters in the following year, like in 2020 maybe. Mm-hmm. But he would be perfect for Mortal Kombat. Just with the chainsaw hand.
What is with him suddenly emerging into games? I don't understand. Like I've heard of like 3 games now that have him as a playable character, but the movie was released in like the 80s or the 90s or something.
Well, yeah, he's released a lot of games when Evil Dead came out. Like they released an Evil Dead game on the PlayStation 1 that played like Resident Evil. It looks like complete shit. And then they had 2 PS2 games that were like third person, like action adventure type games. He's always been in like the video, like I think it's just Evil Dead, man.
But it's like why now though? Like I didn't hear about him at all like 3 years ago or 4 years ago or even 5 years ago, but just suddenly in the past couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think they're working on a new game for Evil Dead. It's like in the works or something like that. Well, I don't know.
Having him upcoming in a movie or a game would make sense then.
Well, he did have that Evil Dead show that got canceled, but that show was actually really good. I think there was like 3 seasons or something like that. It was fucking funny. The Evil Dead series is just really good. Like, it's so fucking good. So yeah, Mortal Kombat 11 Combat Pact. Buy all the characters. Actually, that's microtransactions. Yeah, don't buy it.
For only probably the price of the game.
Probably. If you don't have Mortal Kombat, I would wait like 2 years, and then eventually when they're done releasing all those fighters, you could just buy the Game of the Year edition and get all of it for like $80.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I'm excited to see Spawn.
However, that's actually good DLC though, because characters are game changing. Like new characters, that's actually a game changing thing.
Well, yeah, especially like if you're always playing Mortal Kombat, like the new character, like if you're a huge fan of like fighting games, it's always cool to just add, more fighters. And they've been adding new brutalities in the game. I'm waiting for them to add like new fatalities, and like the brutalities and all that stuff. Like they haven't charged anything. The only thing they charge is like for the new fighters. So at least they're not like making everything microtransaction.
Yep, which is a good thing.
Yeah. But yeah, my next game that I played is called Metro Exodus. I finally got into this game. I played the first and second, loved them to death, and then finally I was like, you know what, we're gonna play Metro Exodus. It's on the Xbox Game Pass for PC. It's a first-person shooter developed by 4A Games, and the game was released on February 15th, 2019.
So this is one of those games that has ray tracing in it.
I believe so.
Yeah.
This game looks really fucking good.
Does it?
Yeah. But like the downfall is like, the one thing I noticed about it is the loading times. They take forever. It takes like over like 3 minutes to just load your save file and get into the game. But overall, like from what I've played so far of this game, it's really good. Like the story starts off really, really slow, which is fine. But like at the time when I was playing, I'm like, I just want to like go in and like kill people or just like sneak into a base. But yeah, so far the story is about your character. I forget his name. He is trying to find out if anyone else around in the world is actually alive. So he's like been going out into the world trying to like catch someone else talking on the radio, and then eventually you see this train roll by, and you're like, whoa, like someone else is alive. Like it's all based in Moscow, and then you go into this car. It comes to pick you up, and you think it's your teammates, but actually it's someone else. And you sneak into this base, you destroy these computers, and what happens is that computer that you destroyed was blocking all the signals around the world so that no one else can actually talk to you on the radio. So then eventually you just find out that all these people around the world are actually alive, and now you're basically trying to start over again. And the whole point of them blocking the signal is because I guess the war that was happening before this whole incident happened never ended. So because you destroyed that, now there's a chance that the war will actually start up again, and they're going to start dropping bombs on you and stuff. I'm not really that far into the game because the game is now a little bit open world. So you go into this really big map, and basically like the area, like it's like a level, and the level is a little bit bigger than usual. So you could go anywhere you want. You can just basically go into a house, scavenge there, and then you can either do like, you'll find like certain people that you can do side quests with, or you can just do your main mission. The world looks really nice so far. It starts off like in winter time, and I think like it changes the farther you get into it, it'll change the seasons.
Oh, good.
Which is pretty cool. Another nice thing is that they added like dynamic weather systems. So you'll just like randomly start walking and it'll start raining, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And then all of a sudden this like huge thunderstorm will be happening, and just all the effects that are happening on the screen all at once is just really, really cool. They have a night and day cycle too. So, you know, if you really wanted to sneak into a base and not be seen, you can either go to a safe house and sleep on the bed and make sure it's kind of like Far Cry 2, where you can change to see where you want it, when you want to sleep. So you can sleep all the way till night and then wake up and then sneak into that base, or you can just do it during the day. What else is in that game? The stealth in that game is really good. It's basically like the first and second, but you can like sneak around, and you have like this little light switch on your wrist that will tell you if it lights up, that means that people can see you, and then when it turns off, that means that you're hidden, so no one can see you. But when you're walking around inside this base, you can actually like blow like the flames out, like the fire, or you can like turn these lights off and like twist the light bulbs out so that the areas are kind of more dark so that no one else can see you. And yeah, you can either just like kill someone with your knife, or you can just knock them out. It's totally up to you if you don't like killing people.
Is like ammo and stuff hard to come by in the game?
So they did something cool about that. So but in the first and second, they were really, really hard to find. But in this one, you actually get this backpack, and you're able to craft items using this bag. So you can craft ammo, like grenades, all sorts of things. And then if you go to a safe house, you have a crafting table, and you basically can even make even more stuff there. And the cool thing about that is the more that you're playing the game, the more that the weapon that you're using will actually start getting rusty and like dirty, and it won't function properly. So when you get to the station, like the crafting table, you can actually clean your gun and stuff and make it more polished so that you can go back out there and the gun will actually react the way it's supposed to be. And then you can create your bullets and stuff on that crafting table, which I think is like less crafting material. It's kind of like the Evil Within 2.
So doing stuff from your bag directly costs more.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of like The Last of Us and the Evil Within 2, because I actually just finished that game. But Yeah, this game has a lot. It's a lot of stuff. I'm like trying to think of stuff, and it's just like all scrambled in my head right now.
How many hours have you put into it?
I put in probably a good solid 4 or 5 hours. I've just been like doing like scavenging around and trying to find, scrap so I can make more ammo, and just kind of feeling the whole world out. Like I really like just like going to like an abandoned house and trying to find stuff, and the monsters in the game are really nice in there. So as of last night, I was just about to finish one part or start the main mission again, and then I was like, yeah, I'm going to bed now.
Are there side missions?
I think there are side missions. Like if you go into like a base, people will, like for example, last night I went to a base, I killed everyone, and some guys like they were in a jail cell, and they're like, oh, help us out, like let us out. So when I let them out, they were like, oh, thank you so much, like here's a key if you want to, there's a thing that's near the water, if you want to open up that door, here's the key, there's a lot of stuff in there that you would want. And then I don't know if that's on my map or not, but I ended up going there or trying to find that place, and I couldn't. But I believe like that, I consider that kind of like a side mission where it's just like, yeah, thanks for helping me, like here's this key, go there. So it kind of takes you away from the main mission.
Okay.
What else is there in that game? Cool thing about this one is, well, it's in the first and second, but you can use a mask if you like get into an area that has radiation, so you have to put on the mask and change the filters. The timer will go off in your wrist, and that means that you have to change your filters. You have to like click a button and it will change the filter, and you can craft more filters too in the game. Yeah, there's a lot of shit in this game, Evan. Like
it kind of reminds me of Fallout. I'm thinking of, it takes the survival elements of Fallout. I think there's a huge focus on scavenging stuff and crafting what you need.
The scavenging is way easier than in the Fallout games. Well, are you talking about Fallout 76?
Yeah. Well, the 4 and 76 are pretty well the same, I think.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier when you craft. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm definitely gonna put more hours into it.
Sounds like you have to really get your time's worth.
And another thing too is you have to be in the mood for it. Like I think there was sometime during this week I was like, all right, I'm gonna play Metro, and right when I got into it, I was like, I'm just not feeling this right now.
It sounds like a big, like you have to really focus on it, right?
Yeah, definitely. And the one thing that I noticed that I did not like about it so far is, well, like I said, the loading screen's really long. Another thing that I noticed is the voice acting is it's really bad. Like,
and that can really ruin a game too.
Yeah, and like there's a time where there was like we were on a train in the game, and I had like 5 people in the same room, and some guy was like, oh yeah, like what should we do here? And instead of having one person say something each time, they all basically said their own lines all at the same time, so it was just all like muffled, and I was like, what the fuck, what's going on? And it's just, and then just the voice acting too, like some of the things that they say, I'm just like, oh god, I would never have said that.
How does it stack up against Days Gone? With the extremely bipolar main character.
Honestly, I think I'd rather Days Gone.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah, you should just listen to the voice acting in Metro Exodus. It's so bad. It's like people trying to make their characters sound like they're from Moscow, but like it's just fake. And,
fake accents.
Yeah,
those are the best.
And then when you have like 5 people that are faking their accents, talking all at the same time and saying something completely different, it's really bad. And then like there was a time where he's like, yeah, for everyone, say it all at the same time, like say this sentence all at the same time. And then it wasn't even like everyone was offbeat. Like it was just all fucking weird, and your character doesn't say a word in this game. The only time you actually listen to your character talk is whenever it's a loading screen. So yeah, they're like asking you questions, and you're just sitting there like saying nothing. They're like, yeah, all right there. Oh yeah, his name's, I think, Arthur or something like that. You're like, oh yeah, that's right, Arthur. And it's like, I didn't say a word. Like, like it's just it's bad, but it's funny at the same time. But like, the voice acting doesn't ruin the game, like the feeling of it. Like, I'm just like,
that's good.
Yeah, like there was a time where like I was following my wife, and she's like, yeah, like, are you going to this place? Like, I have to do this, so I can't go. And right when she was like, I'm not going with you, I'm like, all right, see you later, bye. Like, and like in the background you could just hear her like still talking. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like don't give a fuck what you have to say to me. Like, you're not coming with me, fuck off.
I just want to get this long ass game over with.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, overall the game's really good. I feel like I'm gonna have to put a lot more hours into it. I definitely will be playing it for a while, especially like if I'm not in the mood for it. I have to play it whenever I'm actually in the mood for it.
Man, I'm thinking about this game, and it sounds cool, but the one thing that I'm very tired of and can't stand in games is the winter setting. I hate winter in games.
Well, that's the thing.
It's just so overdone, and it's so, well, it's like winter outside. You don't want to play. You don't want to imagine yourself in a world where it's winter the whole fucking time.
Yeah. Well, that's the cool thing though about how they change seasons.
So yeah,
the
that's
farther
good
that you play. Yeah,
that's
it's kind of like The Last of Us.
But yeah, I had that problem with Skyrim. I remember talking about this on the podcast. A lot of Skyrim was ruined for me, and I didn't go through it because I just didn't want to deal with the winter setting. It was just really not fun to look at after a while. Like, everything's dead and quiet.
Yeah.
Like, I live in Canada, so I see winter here for the majority of the year. If I'm gonna play a video game, I want to escape that, and I want to enter into a world I've never seen before.
You know what game or what type of season a lot of games don't do is the fall.
Yeah, fall is hard to do, right? Because there's so many colors and stuff.
The one game that did it really well was Skate 2.
Yeah, definitely.
It's so cool, like just skating around and like seeing the leaves like all different colors, and man, that Skate 2 is my favorite. I love it so much.
Yeah, I remember Skate 2 was the first really colorful. It's one of the most colorful worlds I remember seeing in a game for a long time.
Yeah.
Next to Mirror's Edge.
So good. Oh yeah, Mirror's Edge was good too. But yeah, I don't really think there's a lot of games that do like the fall. Maybe, well, Skate 2, The Last of Us, because they changed seasons. They did that really well too.
Spider-Man, I think Spider-Man has the new Spider-Man. I could be wrong, but I think there is some fall.
Maybe, I can't remember.
The Last of Us does it.
Oh, The Last of Us did it really well. If I think of like games that were in the season of fall, I always think of Skate 2 and The Last of Us. And it's weird because every October I get an urge to play Skate 2 every year, just to play it, and it's such a good game.
It's probably a secret part of your brain saying, "Oh, it's fall."
It's weird. It's weird because I do Skate 2 in the fall, Max Payne in the winter. And then in the summer, I always get an urge to play Ocarina of Time.
Okay, well, does Ocarina of Time have winter in it?
No, it doesn't have winter. It's more like summer.
It has Gerudo Valley. That's like super desert.
Yeah.
Forest. Yeah, no, there's no winter levels.
I think the only Zelda game that actually has winter in it is the new one, Breath of the Wild. Because like the higher that you go on a mountain, it actually gets colder, and then you actually have to wear like thicker clothes and all that bullshit.
And that game, the more I look at it, the more it does not interest me.
you definitely wouldn't enjoy it. That's for sure.
Like, so an open world Zelda game, I guess it's cool in concept because it's, Zelda's meant to be adventurous.
Yeah.
But it's too big and too empty, it looks like. It looks like there's really not a lot going on. Like all the videos I see that people playing and stuff, and every time I hop on Twitch, it's just people are on their way to something. I'm like, oh wow. And then there's some random monsters.
In that game though. Like I haven't even, I think I've only played one huge dungeon in that game, and every time I'm like going to the next dungeon, I get lost and I get sidetracked and I find something pretty cool. It's just like smaller things. Like the world seems empty, but there is a lot of cool shit in it. I really should get back into it and actually beat it.
Yeah, well,
But yeah,
I'm sure it's appreciated by open world gamers,
yeah, for sure.
but not my thing.
Yeah, Metro Exodus. It's a good game so far. I don't know if I like the open world aspect. For Metro, I think I really liked the linear aspect of it with the first and second game.
Mm-hmm.
I just liked doing the missions, like sneaking through there and not having to deal with like open world. And maybe it's just the fact that I'm not wanting to play an open world game right now.
Mm-hmm.
So with Metro, it's kind of like forcing me to play. Like the map is so big, but like it's not like I have to do the open world shit, but whenever I'm in an open world game, I have to basically go to all these areas just to see what it is and see if I can unlock new items and all that bullshit. But
yeah, you want to get your money's worth. You want to like see what everything they've developed.
Yeah, but then at the same time, I just want to get it over with, like just play the single player. So yeah, like it's good when you're in the mood for it. And I know for a fact you probably wouldn't like it, but
It doesn't sound like it.
yeah, the ragdolls are good though.
As long as the ragdolls are good, yeah.
Yeah, they're really good actually, like really good.
So that's one game I'd like to see. This is one of the games that they use to advertise RTX, like NVIDIA's new real-time ray tracing technology.
Yeah.
And people are saying it's kind of meh, like it's really not noticeable. But they're saying that about all the games that have RTX, like Battlefield 5 is the same.
Quake 2.
Quake 2 is very obvious, extremely obvious. It's like it completely changes the whole game.
Yeah, it's so hard to run. It's ridiculous.
But if somebody had, we have GTX 1080s on ours, but if somebody had the RTX 1080, the performance of the cards is equivalent. So like playing the same games will have the same graphic settings and all that, but
yeah,
RTX is a different technology, so the system of the video card is designed differently.
Mm-hmm.
So it's set up to handle different calculations and stuff like that. So it kind of just unlocks a certain potential of the video card technology that the GTX 1080 doesn't have.
Yeah.
So that's why they're roughly the same price for those cards. Actually, RTX is cheaper right now because you can't get 1080s anymore. They're not in production.
Oh, really?
Yep, that's why the prices are so high.
Oh. And Christina has a 2070.
Yeah, so that's an RTX 2070. It's the new generation, right? So that's what they're going to be making now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they stopped producing GTX cards.
Oh, I didn't know
that. At least the 1080. I don't know if they're still doing other ones. But yeah, so...
The one thing actually I want to mention about Metro is when I first started playing the game, I noticed that because like I have my laptop, my Alienware laptop, and then I have an amplifier plugged into it. So it's like running my 1080. And the first thing I noticed when I was playing Metro was the lights on my Alienware was all like, they were like flickering. And I was like, oh, what the fuck is happening? I'm like, maybe the lights are going in my laptop because it's pretty old. So I was like, oh, that's weird. And then even my amplifier light that was like in the front was like flashing weirdly. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What is this game doing to my computer? Like, it's weird. And then, so I was like, whatever. Like, it's not causing any issues with the game. Like, I double checked everything. I was like, okay, it's working fine, whatever. And so I started playing it. And in like the corner of my eye, whenever I was like in stealth mode, I could like see the light on my laptop like flickering. And I'm like, what is going on? And then I finally realized when I like blew like one of the fire from like a candle out, that's when my laptop computer, like the lights were on and then went off. And I'm like, wait a second. And then I ended up like finding a light switch, and I like went into the light, and then like my lights on my computer would turn on, and then when I went back into the dark, it would turn off. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. It's actually like referring to when I'm in stealth mode. So like it's
that's
like
cool actually.
Yeah, I thought it was fucking cool, but at the same time can get really fucking annoying on the corner of my eye. Like if you're playing in the dark, you're like, what is going on? But like they never told you that would happen. So I thought something bad was happening to my computer. I was like, what the fuck is going on? But yeah, so it's cool. And like whenever you like get damaged and stuff, the lights will turn red. on my laptop, and I was like, it's a cool concept. It's pretty cool. I kind of wish they would have told me about it though, because I thought that game was breaking my shit.
Stuff like that really makes me want to get RGB equipment. I don't have any. I think my video card might be able to do it, like just the side panel on it. It lights up a color, and I think you can do some RGB stuff on it, like color changing.
Yeah.
But it's not one of those things I can experience right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing I thought was pretty cool. I'll give an update whenever I play Metro again, probably on the next podcast. I most definitely won't be done playing it.
Mm-hmm.
But then back to news. This is kind of weird and kind of creepy because, Evan, you don't have an Xbox.
Nope.
Christina has an Xbox, but she doesn't have the Kinect. My dad has a Kinect. And randomly I found out that contractors have been listening to recorded audio from the Kinect.
So
and
contractors, like maybe contract developers?
Yeah, like Microsoft contractors. Like people who work at Microsoft. Yeah, they listen to Xbox owners in their homes using the Kinect. And it's really fucking weird. It just makes you wonder, like, what else have they been listening? Like, I have the PlayStation camera. Do they listen to?
Anything, honestly. Yeah, you know what? Because anything that listens for voice commands, it has to at least store a buffer. Like there's a small amount of storage that the code has in it.
Yeah.
That's always. It's like, you know how you have. I don't know. I think PS4 does it, but like the GeForce experience as well will consistently keep recording like 15 minutes of play or whatever like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of those.
Yeah.
So your phone for your Google does that. Your Kinects will do that. Your PlayStation camera will do that. Anything that has voice control does that.
It's so weird. It's so weird. Yeah, I don't know. I found this article on Kotaku and I was just like, what else have they heard me do?
Yeah, well, that's just the way things are these days.
Yeah.
Basically everything is recording you. But the other side of it is that no one really cares. Or
yeah, it's that part of the time now where like just so much shit's happening that no one really fucking cares. Like,
yeah, the airwaves.
Honestly, like I had the PlayStation camera for a while. Like whatever they heard was nothing really. Well,
yeah.
My PlayStation is barely on anymore anyway. So,
yeah.
The next thing I just want to quickly say is Sony finally, I guess, bought the Spider-Man developer Insomniac Games.
Insomniac. Oh, Insomniac also made Resistance, right?
Yep, Resistance. Ratchet and Clank.
Give us Resistance 4.
Dude, I'd be so happy for that, and especially if they did the multiplayer like in Resistance 2.
Yeah.
But it's weird because Insomniac's been making games for Sony for so long, then I just kind of figured that they were owned by Sony, but I guess not. They finally bought them, and which is good. Like I'm excited. Like Resistance, bring that game back. That it's been so many years since the Resistance, like the last Resistance game. Like it just remaster Resistance 2. I'd be happy with all the multiplayer.
Yeah. Didn't they do something? Happened one time. I don't know if it was Resistance or some other game. Man. Yeah, so it might have been. Then again, it might be Tony Hawk's Underground for PS2. Like, I remember years later, after they shut down the servers for it, they actually brought them back. And
I don't know.
This was like in the late 2000s. They brought it back.
Maybe it could have been Resistance 1. Maybe. I just remember Resistance 2. That multiplayer was the co-op was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we all played that game back in high school, and it was so good. And then I remember letting you know that they were shutting down the servers, and I was like, "Let's do it. Let's play that the last night before it shuts down." But we weren't able to make it to that. But yeah, the story for those games are good. I feel like Resistance 3, it was good, but they should have just ended at Resistance 2, or I don't even think Insomniac Games actually made Resistance 3. I think it was like a different developer.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Anytime there's like a multiple sequels for a game and one of them or two of them fall off the radar, it's usually because it's a different company making it.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how sensitive we are to that kind of stuff, though.
It's so good though.
Yeah.
But with the new Spider-Man game that just got released, that game's been making a shitload of money, especially now with the movies and everything. Like, yeah, it's probably the best thing to purchase Insomniac games. You never know. We might get Sunset Overdrive for PS4 now.
Sunset Overdrive?
Yeah.
Sunset Overdrive. What is that one again?
It's like an open world game that they made for the Xbox. It's an Xbox exclusive. And people are drinking this energy drink, and then they all turn into monsters, and the whole city is actually overrun by these monsters that were made with an energy drink.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the story looks really fucking cool. It's actually on the Game Pass for PC, so I might try it eventually.
Okay, right on.
But it's super arcadey like all the other games, and you get all these weird guns but yeah. So good for Insomniac Games, man.
Yeah, better make some good stuff for us.
Resistance 4, please.
Please get Resistance 4.
Third game that I played this week. Evan, you definitely played it. I know you played it because I played it with you.
Yeah.
It's the Call of Duty Modern Warfare Alpha for Gunfight.
Yeah.
Evan, I'll let you start with this because I need a drink of water.
Okay, yeah, you've been talking for a while. So, as I thought I would be, talking about this in podcasts and getting pretty hyped for it, it's pretty sweet. I over and over again, I find myself playing this alpha because I think I've put, oh man, it's very rare that I do this, but I think I put in like 8 hours of straight playtime into this game.
It's funny you say that because after this podcast, I want to play it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play it.
It would be fun to squeeze in a few matches for sure.
Yeah, it's so good. It's yeah.
Right now, it's going on the PS4 only. It's gonna finish end of tonight, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can just take over and talk about it if you want, because we both played at the same time and both experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
Plus, I haven't said anything yet.
Talk about it, because I'm just gonna grab a glass of water because I'm dying of thirst.
Okay, go get your water, and I'll inform the people.
All right.
So, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Gunfight mode is very short matches. I believe in the alpha you're given 4 or 5 maps. I can't remember how many exactly. Small maps. The idea is that you have 2v2, only 2v2. Sometimes you can get pinned against one person, so it can be 2v1. Which I'm hoping they fix, and I hope they actually come up with a solution to that, because having 2 people against one is pretty much never fun. It's only fun if your partner has died, and then you're like, okay, so then the pressure's on you kind of thing, right? But at least having the second person there, you would have made a dent at the beginning. Yeah, so the map designs, all of them are pretty cool. They did a major graphics overhaul in this game, and the whole mood of it and the whole environment of it has changed quite a bit, so it doesn't feel like a Call of Duty game. I keep saying that over and over again. People are like, oh, how do you like it? How do you like it? I'm like, yeah, it doesn't actually feel like I'm playing Call of Duty, which is a good thing, I think, in my eyes and in many people's eyes. So we got to see everything they've been talking about in terms of overhauling the animations and making it look realistic and stuff. A few things graphically that really stick out is the guns just look more real than they ever have. Like, they have the shine and the wear on the guns, like spots where if you're holding a gun and it's kind of like, it rubs on you're rubbing your arm on it, and then part of it is worn off. Let's see what else here. Yeah, so
I'm back, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I've been listening to you.
And let me think here. So yeah, I'm thinking also of like the animations too. They added like a realistic sway on the animations and stuff.
Yeah.
And so after, you really see it in kill cam mode. Like after you fire a Desert Eagle, for example, you can see the hand wobbling side to side like it would in real life, kind of thing. So it doesn't look like they're robotically holding the guns and they're super good at it.
It's the same thing with like the reload animations too. Like it just looks sick, like especially with like the loading of like the shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks fucking sick. Just like pumping the shotgun shells in the gun and then finally like cocking that shotgun back.
Yeah.
Just seeing that shell fly off, like it's cool.
And after a while, after you fire so many rounds, there's some smoke comes out the tip of your gun.
Yep.
Sorry, I have gas. Yeah, and they have a new leading mechanic. Well, they call it mounting in the game.
So yeah, like I thought they would do like the leaning mechanic, kind of like Rainbow Six, where if you were behind like a wall, if you just aim down the sights, it would kind of lean towards. I didn't like the fact that you had to press the R3 button to like lean.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just I'm not used to it, but I know for a fact like with Insurgency, you can, well, that's for PC, but you can also have it like auto lean for you, which could fuck up at times, but I thought that's how they would do it, but it's not, it doesn't ruin the game. Like most times I barely lean. I barely mounted a wall, because immediately when I do that, every time I just get fucking headshot.
Well, in this game mode, like it doesn't make sense in the gunfight 2v2.
Mm-hmm.
But if I imagine there's going to be game modes where, like, whenever they announce the 100-player game modes, whatever they're going to be, there probably will be people sitting still, or if there's like more tactical modes where you have to defend a point or something, there's going to be people doing that.
But even with the gunfight mode that we were playing all day yesterday, it's fun. Like, it's such an easy game mode.
Yep.
And the fact that like you and I played for, you know, a good solid 2 hours or whatever together, and even when we stopped playing, like I was still itching for more. I was like, I could play this literally all day. Like, it's just so fun, and it's a good chance to just like test out all the guns, because like at the beginning of the game, like you don't choose the class that you want. You just they give you random guns, and you're like, all right, here, this is the round that you're using, just a Desert Eagle with a red dot scope or whatever. Like, but yeah, just playing that game mode for over the weekend it's making me way more excited for the game itself. Like, I'm excited for the beta that's coming out in a couple of weeks for in September, but I'm just playing this game mode. I'm like, I'm definitely going to purchase this game. Like, it's a completely different game.
100%.
Yeah.
And I'm surprisingly, I don't play PS4, but I was really enjoying it on PS4. For some reason, it just felt natural.
That's the thing with me too. It's like, all right, I want to purchase this for PC, but like, I guess what I could do is purchase it for PC and play with console, or like a console controller. Yeah. But it's fun. It's fucking fun.
It's fun. It feels good. It's the best feeling Call of Duty game that I've ever played.
Yeah.
And I've played Black Ops 2, 3, 4, World War 2.
It's just the animations. Like you were saying about the animations, and even the ragdolls. Like, you know me with ragdolls, but like, they're fucking cool. Like, back in the other Call of Duty games, they would do like an animation and they'd be floating in the air, and then once that animation would end, then that's when they would ragdoll down.
Yeah.
This game, it just flows so well. Like, it's just it's so cool.
And the ragdoll, the animations, like, what happens is you'd happen to be really often you're around walls and stuff like that, because there's like tight areas in the 2v2 gun mode.
Mm-hmm.
So what'll happen is, if you get shot near a wall, it'll throw the ragdoll against the wall and make it look like they, you know, like they get pushed up against the wall by the bullet force or whatever. And so they incorporate like colliding with the wall with an animation, and it makes it look cool.
Yeah.
Rather than just flopping downward or whatever.
What do you think of the levels?
So
that we played. Well, I think we played all of them, didn't we?
Yeah, we've been through all of them. There's a docks level, which I like a lot.
That's my favorite.
That's like a perfect size, yeah. It's very, very standard. There's like 2 towers on opposite sides of the level, stairs to get up to them, and a bridge that crosses in between. Very basic. It's kind of has like the same theme as the London docks level from World War II. Same visual style. From Call of Duty World War II, by the way. Sorry, in case I'm confusing you. There's also this, I don't know the name of it because I don't care to know it, but it's like the jungle level.
Oh, Pine.
I don't like those kinds of levels in games.
So fucking annoying.
It's
that
just
level.
chaos, and automatically you know people are gonna whip out a sniper rifle and just hang there and wait for you.
Yeah, it's just like I had a hard time seeing, and that's it's cool. Like I had a hard time seeing the other enemies.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point of that game, or that level.
Yeah.
Is like a lot of bushes are all over the place. Like you can hide in a bush or whatnot.
Each level definitely has a purpose, and it's designed with a certain gameplay in mind, game style.
Yeah, I think my two favorite are the docks one that you just talked about, and the firing range one that looked like firing range.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that one.
I like the one I like the most is the shipping containers one. I don't remember what it's called. It's like the smallest one where you can actually, there's a ramp that goes up in the middle, and there's a shipping container right in the middle of it.
Oh yeah, that one. I forget what that one's called.
This is great. We're talking about these levels and we don't even know the names of them. Oh, the one there, let's describe the one there. Yeah,
the one that goes in the middle and you can climb up the middle.
thing.
I'm pretty sure every single one of them has something in the middle.
Yeah, but this one has the ramp though, and it's all.
Oh, the one with the ramp, I remember. Yeah.
But it has one shipping crate directly in the middle, and that's where the flag is. Yeah. So in this game mode, there's when you're battling 2v2, you're given a small time limit. If you guys are reaching the time limit and the game isn't over yet, you get a secondary goal when the time runs out to go grab the overtime flag. So there's a flag that's placed somewhere in the level, and the first person to grab the flag wins the game.
And then if no one catches that flag, whoever has the least amount of health, the person who has the most health will win that. If no one else catches that flag.
Really?
I tested that yesterday because someone wasn't playing. So I was like, I want to know what happens if you don't actually get the flag, like if the game just doesn't end. And so like I shot him in the leg just to see, and basically I won because I had more health. And then if you don't catch the flag and both those people have the same amount of health, then it just ends in a draw.
Okay.
So it's just like, whatever, like you guys suck, so we'll give you guys a draw.
It's the way the game is set up though, there's going to be so few times where a draw actually happens, I think. Yeah. Because
most times
when the flag comes out, you just want to go for it.
Yeah, like there's times where you and we never really, I think there was only a handful of times where we actually went and collected the flag, but most times the game will always end with the other team dying. Mm-hmm. So
one thing I really like about this game mode is that it's super tactical. So it forces you out of your typical Call of Duty run and gun, sprint, jump shot. People still try to do that, but it tends to not go well for them.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
People try to play it like the old Call of Duties, and it's just like you can be lucky with it, but I feel like when you and I were playing, we were more tactical, and there was times where I just like ran out trying to be commando, and I died immediately, and I was like, I learned my lesson there.
Well, in such a condensed area, like the way I play is I turn off all audio except for only the game audio. So what I do is I put on headphones too, and I listen for footsteps.
Yeah.
And in this game mode, you hear footsteps all the time. So you're always being given like a hint as to where somebody is. So the action is constantly there, and you're never wondering where they are, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. So like, number one, it can train you to be good with your ears. And secondly, it keeps the game going smoothly, and if you're being tactical, you're going to have a huge advantage. It's awesome.
What did you think of the guns that we used?
The only guns so the Desert Eagle is awesome. They let you play with a version of the Desert Eagle without a scope and with a scope. It's really powerful. Headshots are killer. I think headshots with any gun cause more damage.
Because the crosshair, or the hit detection, if you hit them in the head, it will turn red, and it's like immediate. It's an immediate kill, and that's happened to me a couple times when we were playing, where I'd like run out and I would just get shot once, and I'm like, all right, that was a headshot, like, and it shows too, like, and that's the thing that I wish the other Call of Duty games had, because like you'd shoot someone in the face, like 3 times and then they would die. But this one, it's just like headshot, yeah, you're dead. So it's kind of like taking Battlefield style, where you shoot someone in the head in Battlefield and they would die immediately. I think that's really cool, and it completely changes the game. And I know a lot of people will probably be pissed off about that, but grow up. Like
it's time for them to try something really different, and it actually feels like they're doing that this time.
Yeah.
So the deagle is cool. There's a gun called the M13, which is like your standard issue assault rifle, and that I think is my favorite. You're given a scope with it. But you also, I think, have an M14, which is like a variant of the M1 Garand. So it looks like the same gun, but they just made it a little more high tech. That one's okay. It's like a single fire ranged rifle. They have rocket launcher, which I don't give a shit about, because you know exactly what people are going to do with a rocket launcher in Call of Duty.
I think they have all the guns in the game that are in that game mode. Like, there's guns that when you and I played, we never used. Well, like, there's a couple guns that after you and I played, I ended up playing a couple rounds, and I was like, oh, I never actually used this gun with you. And there was the I think it was like the M16 or whatever, and it had a grenade launcher attached to it underneath. And you and I had never had that gun. So basically at the beginning of the game, it was just people launching the grenades. And I was like, oh, this is fucking cool. Like, it completely changed the game for like a couple seconds, because people are just trying to like kill each other in the respawn point.
Yeah.
And then eventually when all of our because you only get one grenade, once that ended, it was just like, all right, let's continue. Let's go back to the way that we were playing before.
Right.
So yeah, there's a couple guns that I use that I never used with you, that I thought were pretty cool.
Well, maybe I'll run those tonight. Yeah, you're given flashbang.
Stun grenades.
Whenever they change your loadout, because they change your loadout like every 2 matches or something, you don't get to pick what it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll set you up with a frag and flashbang combo, but then sometimes they'll set you up with a stim pack and stim pack and Molotov.
Yeah.
Molotovs are sick in this game. Like, that's awesome.
Oh man, killing someone with a Molotov is the best.
So satisfying. You get a special kill cam for it.
They also give you like smoke grenades.
Yeah.
Which will cover the whole. If everyone throws their smoke grenades, it'll just cover the whole map.
Yeah. It seems like grenades have a bigger reach in this game.
Yeah.
You also the stim pack is basically, it's kind of borrowed from your healer thing from
World War II.
Black Ops. No.
Oh yeah, Black Ops 4. Yeah.
You can use it infinitely, it seems.
No, you can only use it once, actually.
No, you can use it multiple times. You can use it at least twice. I know that. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I've done that, and it seems to be infinite, which it might be a little OP. But in 2v2 gun mode, I think it's fine, because the matches happen so quickly that you're not paying attention to healing yourself.
Well, there must be a cooldown for it, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
At least. You have shotguns. You have a double barrel shotgun, and you also have a regular combat shotgun.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the double barrel shotgun, because like it was weird. They gave us like a fucking sniper scope on it, so I randomly thought it was a sniper, and I was like shooting someone from like across the map, and I wasn't killing them. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
They made the shotguns really accurate though in this game.
Yeah, which is great, because most Call of Duty games, they would always have the shotguns that could like kill people from across the map, and it's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
It just makes me so excited for
I'm just trying to think of anything else that really is worth mentioning. But overall, the game is a really nice change. It actually reminds me of the Battlefield 2 era of like the weapons you're given, and the kind of the theme of the game, like the style of it.
Oh yeah.
It reminds me of Battlefield 2 / Battlefield 3. You're given an M1, like M19 regular pistol too. Like your standard issue Glock, which I don't think you get in Call of Duty games normally.
No, I don't think so.
So they're giving you actually AK. You have an AK-47 as well.
Yeah, that one's good. I like that gun.
They're giving you like standard counter-terrorist operation weapons, and yeah,
The levels actually reminded me a lot of like Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it does. It feels like,
except for Pine.
Yeah,
that level can fuck off, but every other level like reminded me of Counter-Strike and like the guns, everything.
Yeah, it's a nice it's a nice change for Call of Duty. Absolutely, it feels much more serious of a game.
Yeah, and the loading times too were pretty quick. Like you and I would finish a round and you'd be like, all right, I'm just gonna go clean my glasses, and it's like, nope, we're in a game already, Evan. You can't. Like it was like immediate.
Very little waiting, yeah. So I'm wondering if that's just because of the alpha is only like maybe 10 gigabytes or whatever the hell it is because of the one game mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall it's awesome. I'm totally excited for it.
What'd you think of like having a clean HUD?
I actually love the new HUD.
Me too. I fucking love it.
The user interface is awesome.
Yeah.
Aside from the menu is kind of shit because the text is too small in some spots.
Yeah.
They don't think of TVs when they make. It seems like they don't think of TVs when they make these interfaces.
Yeah.
Because like everything fits on the screen, sure, but your text is going to be super small. It's fine if you're sitting in front of a monitor.
But yeah, but like, well, you're using your monitor, right, when you play?
I was playing actually on a TV.
Oh, okay.
Which was fine. It ran well enough for me. Usually there's input lag issues when it comes to console gaming for me, but nope, it was pretty good with this one.
The one thing I want to try if we do play it today after the podcast is I just found out before the podcast that we can actually play with keyboard and mouse. So you can actually plug in, your keyboard and mouse and use that, and it will actually tell the other players. So when you're playing, when you finally connect with all the other players, it will have a picture of a controller, and if you are using keyboard and mouse, it will just show a mouse there. I heard different things about it. Like I heard that there's kind of a small input lag for it, so it feels kind of weird. But you also have to turn off a bunch of you have to turn up the sensitivity, and you also have to turn off the auto aim. Well, not the auto aim, but like it will like help you try to like lock onto the enemy if you come across one. Yeah. So you have to like completely turn that off. And even like now that I think of it, Evan, we should actually just turn that off altogether for the controller, because like I've noticed that
it's been bothering me.
Yeah.
Like, there's times where I would want to aim at somebody and I feel like I'm about to, but instead the tracking is following the player. Like, yeah. And it's like say if a player is jumping and running left and I'm tracing them from the left, I'm like, okay, I'm moving my cursor left, try to lock onto them. I'm trying to go more forward than the lock on is letting me.
Yeah.
Whew, excuse me.
That was good.
But there's been more than one time where I'm like, okay, I'm trying to move faster with my crosshair, but it's preventing me from doing that because it's trying to lock on to a certain spot on the player. So yeah, I think it'd be worth trying turning it off.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to turn it off when I play it next.
For sure.
Yeah, fucking the game is so cool. I'm so excited for the beta.
100% down, and I'm glad they're giving us so many chances to play it too.
Yeah, they're gonna give us a chance to play the actual multiplayer, and then they're gonna try the multiplayer, the new game mode that has like 100 players in it, so kind of like Battlefield, which I'm excited for. And then they're also going to allow a beta for crossplay, so you against PC and all that bullshit. So yeah,
it's good for that. They're doing a good thing with this game.
Yeah, and I think they're doing all this too just to like get everyone in there, the people who are not a big fan of Call of Duty, and they're like, you know what, this game will never change. So having all these betas and those people who are just like, all right, let's just see what they changed, and they're like, holy shit, like this game looks fucking sick.
Yeah,
you're gonna get a lot more people.
Yeah, surprisingly good. It's a big change.
Yeah. Anything else for Call of Duty, Evan?
I think I've said all I want to say about it. I can just sit here and keep gushing about how good the alpha is so far, but
yeah,
you can only do that for so long.
I know. I have a couple news before we end the podcast. There's something that popped up here. I kind of want to see what you thought about it. Microsoft wants Xbox Game Pass on your PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
This would never happen in a million years. There's no way Sony would ever do it. But yeah, supposedly Microsoft is since the beginning, they've been trying to push Game Pass to a lot of other players, and it's working. Like when they released it on the PC, Christina and I got it for the PC, and we've been playing like Metro Exodus. That's how I'm playing it, is on the Xbox Game Pass. And then Christina, I think, played a couple of games. She played Crackdown using Game Pass. But yeah, like, it's cool that Microsoft is like pushing it super hard, and it would be really cool if it was on the PlayStation. There's no way that Sony would ever allow that, especially for a competitor. But do you ever see Sony and Xbox actually doing something like this? Like,
not together. No.
Like, Xbox has their Game Pass and Sony has their PlayStation Now. If they did that on separate consoles, like, it would be cool. But just imagine people playing Halo on the PlayStation, and
it'd almost be insulting though to the communities of both.
Yeah,
they kind of want to be divided. They want to compete with each other generally.
Yeah,
the players.
Yeah. While I'm on this topic, actually talking about Sony and PlayStation, supposedly Sony is interested in making multi-platform games, so like Sony Studios. So there might be a chance one day where, instead of just making an exclusive game for Sony or like for the PlayStation, you might see a game that would come out for the Xbox as well. And with both of these things, people talking about it, like, maybe one day you'll see, The Last of Us on the Xbox.
Yeah, well, it's like, sometimes the studio is all that matters. Like, if The Last of Us was on any other console, I wouldn't give a shit. Because it's just, for me, it's all about the studio that makes it, right? It's Naughty Dog.
Yeah, and I think too, if Sony will ever do like a multi-platform like game, I think what they would basically aim it for is not the Xbox. They would put it on the PC.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's what they would mainly do. There's no way that I would ever see, the Game Pass or the PlayStation Now on the other systems. And I also don't think that they would do multi-platform games with the Xbox and with the PS4. I think it would be more for like the PC. Yeah,
probably. I mean, like, there's no reason why Sony Studios wouldn't be a thing, It should be like this game is made by Sony Studios and it's on whatever amount of platforms. People will be like, okay, it's a Sony Studios game, so we can expect the same quality as blah blah blah.
Yeah,
that's going to be perfectly fine, because I don't think many people, like, you think of a game like The Last of Us, people who really appreciate the game don't really see any reason why it should be tied to only PlayStation.
No, yeah,
I'm sure they can release it on anything else and people will still play it and love it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the reason why I love it is not because it's a PlayStation game. It just happens to be on the PlayStation game, and it pushed the PlayStation 3 to its limits, which is one thing I loved about it. But that's more the studio rather than the console.
You're talking about The Last of Us, right?
Yeah, sorry, Last of Us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it'd be, just imagine playing, The Last of Us on PC, or Resistance on the PC.
Mm.
Be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I wouldn't be against it at all.
Nope, me neither. But yeah, that's it for the news. I don't have anything else for the news. And I mean, do you have anything else? Any music or movies or TV shows or?
Well, one thing I will say is that I did actually play a game last night. I think it's worth mentioning. Yeah, I played at a bar. I was at a gaming bar. Pretty cool place in Ottawa called the Blurry Pixel. Check it out if you're local. Played Brawlhalla just for a bit with my buddy. So
what did you think of that?
I was curious to see what it was, and turns out it's just Smash Brothers, basically 2D Smash Brothers with characters that are non-Nintendo, which is okay. Mm-hmm. The game just feels like Smash Brothers, but it's like, it's okay. It's one of those games where it's exciting to play. I can see the appeal.
Yeah.
And
it's free to play, by the way.
It is, yeah. So that's one thing I appreciate about it. It's free to play. It gives you access to the Smash Bros. Experience without the Nintendo community around it. Because I'll be honest, I'm not really a huge Nintendo fan. So it's good. It's good for a person like me. It's a different community that's driving the game. It's up and coming, so it's becoming almost as popular as Smash is, but just for the PC environment. I think it's only a PC game. I could be wrong.
Brawlhalla?
Yeah.
No, it's out for PS4 as well, and it's also on the Nintendo system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's everywhere, but I think when people want to play a game like that on the Switch, it's not Brawlhalla or Brawlout. It's Smash.
Yeah, so I'm happy that somebody has taken like a Nintendo quality idea and actually made it more accessible to the non-Nintendo community. Like
yeah, you could basically play it anywhere.
Yeah, that idea, it deserved to be given to other consoles, not just the
yeah,
everything Nintendo. Anyway, that's one thing I played.
That's good, man. That's good. Brawlhalla. I never would have thought you'd actually play Brawlhalla.
It's only because it was already installed on the console, and I was like, oh, what do we want to play? We were looking for 2-player games, like easy platformer games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt satisfying though to play it. I will admit it was fun. Just beating people up and sending them across the map.
I respect that, Evan.
Yeah. But aside from that, I think that's all I have.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. I'm just really eager to hop back onto Call of Duty right now. So
yeah, it's got me pretty fired up about it. I think I'll check it out. I have some things to do later today, but I should pump some time into it before we're not able to play it for another couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that closes off episode 10 of the Plus 3 podcast.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Tina couldn't be with us, right? So
yeah, but I know she's listening. So like, Christina,
hi. So
hi,
so Christina, hi. But she'll be there next time.
Next week. She'll be here. Yep.
On episode 11 of the Plus 3 podcast, and we will see you then.